And hi, y'all. I'm back. Chris of Bama Law. Well, let's hope it goes well tomorrow. I wanted to do a quick video, trying to keep it under 20 minutes, on my health. I'm sitting here in the great city of Louisville, Kentucky. I had a couple weeks ago. I haven't been on YouTube at all. I've been stalking other channels, but I haven't done anything, obviously. Even stuff where I publish later. I had a shunt put in my brain, like kids do that have water babies. That's horrible. It is what it is. They have the large heads. They have too much. It's called hydrocephalus. Don't know how I got it. Developed it in late 30s. I've had it about 10 years. And I've had issues really since day one. And finally, I got a doctor. God, thank you. At the University of Louisville, who fixed it. And they had to go in and unfortunately replace it, which is not the greatest thing to do. I know. I wish the light were better. Sorry, but this hotel sucks, and I didn't bring one of the makeup lights. The little circular. Yeah, I didn't bring it. Anyway, doctor's great. He replaced it. Finally, there's enough pressure. They were always over draining. It's pretty gross, but your system's closed. Most people don't think about this, but your spinal fluid and your brain sits in water, electrolyte of water, CSF. And when I say sits, I mean literally, it floats. That's why it's so bad when you're in a car wreck or you get hit in football, which I can't even stand to watch anymore. I just can't, because I know what it's like and what they're potentially going to have later in life. This is stupid. I mean, it's all for entertainment, and these kids are getting just brutalized. They should take the helmets off and probably the pads. And I guarantee you injuries will reduce, because no one's going to freaking go full bore 20 miles an hour, because some of them run 21 and just clock someone. So anyway, the brain sits in fluid, and it gives you balance, but not just your ears, because your ears have fluid in them. When you get sick, they get messed up, and it'll make you dizzy, feel like the room's spinning. This is totally different. It distorts your vision. You can see things, but you can't get distance correct, and just minor shit that walking becomes an issue. It feels like you may be walking through mud or something. But the brain should, if it has too much fluid, you have the brain here, it will constrain. Damn it, the screen's too small. I'm sitting here talking like you can see me. Nobody can see me. Hang on. Let me do it this way. Yay, shitty camera. I'm using my MacBook. It's a pretty skyline. Anyway, looks about like Birmingham, Alabama. You have the brain about this big, and it sits in a fluid. It's supposed to. And if you have too much, it compresses, and then the brain will swell as a result. And in the center of the brain are what's called ventricles, just like the heart. It's like 4 of them. Looks like a 4-leaf clover. And if you have that swelling, those ventricles will swell inside of the brain, and that gives you the swelling of the brain itself. And then you have compression on the outside. It's not good. And a lot of people that develop it later in life, they'll go through a lot of headaches. They'll even become what's called a frequent flyer of the emergency room. And they'll be like, I got to have morphine, or nothing works. And they'll think you're a drug addict. And then lo and behold, oops, he had hydrocephalus. There was nothing that was going to work. But, it may go on for years. You might be in every couple of weeks, because every few weeks that CSF grows. And so I think normal is like 21 millimeters of mercury or something like that for pressure. And I was at like 28, 29 at the time. And my issue over the last 10 years has been drainage. And so what people don't know, see how my head, let me take my keep off. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. See how my hair is missing here? I'll try to just turn around. I'm going to do it blind. I wish my wife were here so she could show me. I'm off. I don't know if it looks good or not. The staples come out tomorrow. Behind that huge gash, which he did a magnificent job because the last few were just butcheries. They look like fucking railroad tracks, where they just go in and just staple the shit out of you and call it a day. They don't give a shit. And you look like you look like Frankenstein. This doctor did cosmetic surgery. It's freaking amazing. But so now I won't have but one scar. So unfortunately, it's really long. I don't know if you can see it. It used to sit right here. There would be a bulb that you could push, and that bulb would go through the hole in the skull, in through the two hemispheres of the brain, like a piece of government plastic, a straw, literally a straw, into the ventricles. So the ventricles did not swell from fluid. And then it would come down and connect it as a catheter, like somebody going pee-pee, a catheter in your gym dog. Same thing. A little bit different, but similar. It's the same principle. And it would come out, went down my neck. See, this one is, you can see where he cut and had to suture. So it comes down, goes over the collarbone, over here in my pectoral region, and goes into the stomach where it empties. You have, that's called a VP shunt, ventricular peritoneal. So it goes from the ventricles into the peritoneal cavity. They have one. I can't remember if it's ventricular atrial. It's fucked up, and it goes into your heart. I don't know who the fuck came up with that idea. No, because my first one got staph. So I can just imagine, and it was in the catheter going in my belly. You'd be dead, and your heart, you'd be dead. So that's what I've had done, and that's what it does. But what it was doing was that shunt. Your system it's a closed system. I don't know why I'm doing happy hands like Donald Trump today. I don't know. The system's closed. So you've heard that. I'm sure everybody's heard. You learn by osmosis. That's a thing. And that's how the fluid is exchanged between your central cerebral spinal fluid and the blood. There is no exit. It's closed. So from the brain down through the spine, it's closed. But on a membrane level, it seeks homeostasis and it levels out. It's supposed to. Mine didn't do that. So it just had too much. It just kept making it just sucked. And so that's what the shunt does, is it drains that excess fluid. It doesn't just drain it out of the head like you would, God forbid, people that get in horrible car accidents and have bleeding of the brain. It's the same principle, too much fluid. They'll just drill a hole, though. I think it's a tympani or something like tympanic. But anyway, they'll put a shunt in. It's just a tube to vacuum, and they'll just keep draining. So that's not so much the ventricles as it is just the brain. This is actual. It literally, if you look at a picture of the brain, it not only is divided into like a north-south, but it's like a cross. Yeah. So at the top you have two hemispheres, left and right, and then you have a cut through the middle, and you have stuff that connects everything called dura mater. So it holds everything together. And I know I'm getting in depth with it, but I just thought it might be cool. Some people might enjoy it. I don't know. I thought it was interesting until I was the one going in for the surgery. And they show, you see the scans of your brain. Like, holy shit, is that my brain? And they're like, yep. You're like, please give me more Versed. I don't. That's not good. And so mine now, the reason I had to have it replaced is the ventricles, instead of swelling, were collapsed. So I don't know if you're a Gen Xer, you remember it. There was a game in elementary school you played with paper, like an origami thing, where you went like this with it. You could go like that, and then you flip it open and tell somebody you loved them or whatever, with colors or whatnot. That's what the ventricles look like, and mine were collapsed, like the paper when you hold it together. So it's been bad. It's not been fun. I've had bad vision problems. It's kind of funny. I used to volunteer at the Northeast Alabama Police Academy for their DUI testing. And they get you drunk for free. It's funny. First time I did it, I got drunk, and the students have to do the field sobriety. Then I told them what happened, what was wrong with me, and I can't pass, or I couldn't, I don't know about now, the Nescamus test, where you do it a 45-degree deviation, and they do the light, and as you track it, your eyeballs, if you're intoxicated, or especially on like Xanax or something, your eyeballs will shake as you're tracking they'll start to do that. And mine did that regardless, and it sucked because when it would do it, I could see the world go. Brr, brr. It was horrible. It would happen in court. It was horrible. You just want to grab your head, close your eyes, and just lay down. It's been miserable. Luckily, it hasn't done anything to my awesome ability to be an awesome super lawyer or have intellectual abilities. I have a very high sympathy for people that have to, especially children that have it, and it's a lifelong thing, and it's hard. So I've got it easy. I think mine started in my early mid-20s. I started having these headaches. I thought they were migraines, wouldn't go away. Started being a frequent hospital patient visitor, ER. And they finally kind of went away. And I guess that's when it just stopped, but it never went down. So anyway, that's probably 10 or 15 years of living with that. It was horrible. So I'm 48 now. So that's what's happened. That's where I'm at. I'm okay. I go tomorrow. I think I'm gonna record it, just see what it's like, because I've never seen staples removed, like actually seen them. So I think I'm gonna get my wife to do it, and then I don't know, maybe post it. It'd be kind of gross. Probably won't be interesting at all, but yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. And then I was thinking tonight. I don't know if we're gonna. I think I'm gonna do just the video recap of the prosecutor. Oh my God, the ASAP Rocky trial with ADA Lewin. Good God. That, I make a joke a lot where this is a dumpster fire. Literally, I even have like a what do you call it? A thumbnail where it's like a dumpster that's on fire going boo. That is a dumpster fire. Literally has been a dumpster fire. It's funny to watch, but it's damn. If I had been that judge, and I would love to practice in front of him, he seems like he knows what he's doing. I know people don't like it because he hasn't done anything, anybody held anyone in contempt, etc. That's kind of common, but he's got good patience. I like him. I like the guy. I would love to practice in front of him. If I had been the judge, Lewin would have been in jail within, I don't know, week one. There's no way he would be doing the 17 objections in a day. No. In reality, in a trial, no. Unless it's like pertinent, bad, like really bad, shifts a burden, or tries to bring in evidence, or maybe especially hearsay, something like that, testimony. You just don't freaking do it. You just don't. And a lot of people, you may say, well, that's not good, but no, because then you get what happened, because it happens. We're human. And you rely on the judges too, on the attorneys to kind of self-censor and catch things themselves. And I do it all the time. It's like, I'll ask a question, go, withdrawn, strike that. And I'll move on because I've caught it. Yeah, this guy's he's a dick. I don't know another way to put, holy moly. I've literally never seen anything like it. I think one day, I think it was recent. I think it was Thursday. I think it was day 12. 17 objections. And I think the judge was off because I counted an objection extra additional. I think I was in the 30s. Every time he objected, the judge, whether he denied it or not, and then the dummy kept arguing. He would win an argument and kept arguing. He never shut up. The guy could not shut his damn mouth. So I thought I'd play a video of it in case you haven't seen it. You have a little bit of a comment. I may do, and we'll cover a little bit of what you should do in trial. It's not that, I tell you that. So let me try to play it. Let's see. Where is it? Let me do. Yeah, here we go. Cool. All right. Here we go. I hope the audio is not picking up.
Do not mention the prosecution first. Here's a quote. On an objection, you overrule. Prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury.
Here was an objection. You overruled it. That's his attitude and his body language. That's what he said. That's how he said it. Dude, that would be most judges. That would be, if you talk like that to me one more time, you will get handcuffed. And some judges will just sit you in the, well, you can't sit them in the jury box. Sometimes they'll just handcuff you and sit you in the jury box for the whole day, or while everybody has court until it's done, and then let you go. They may even have a cell in the back where they dump you. Most judges are not going to do they might do a civil contempt because that doesn't mess with your license or anything. But if it's criminal, they just don't normally do them. It's got to be a pretty bad direct contempt. And even with this, he's not done direct contempt. I could still hold him in jail. I mean, he's, holy crap. I mean, this is bad.
Proper, it's unethical. You said you're not going to tolerate it, and I object. And you make it clear to the jury that my objection you find annoying. It's very clear that the tone that we get when we make an objection should be sustained is, what are you doing? That's what we said. You specifically
lower your voice and don't yell at me. I told you before. I'll listen to what you say. Speak in a normal tone of voice.
Judge, we're doing the best.
I'll listen to what you say. Speak in a normal tone of a normal tone of voice. I guess you could even argue that's direct contempt. They've been warned. They've both been warned multiple times to not disparage each other, which you're not supposed to do anyway. There's all kinds of decorum that people, not even it could be local rules of the court. It could just be the judge. The judge will tell you before the trial, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to freaking hear crap from your mouth about the other guy. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear whining. I don't want to hear, just make the objection. Objection, it's hearsay. If it gets into something bad, judge usually be like, sidebar, go off the record. Nobody hears it. Go to sidebar. Then if it's something that needs to be on the record, you come back out and say, okay, when sidebar, you have an objection. What's your objection? And then you go forward with it and say, object, it's hearsay. And then you go into why it's hearsay, or maybe a relevance issue or whatever. That's how it's supposed to flesh out. These guys never did it. They just, it's like the movie, The Odd Couple, where Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau just can hate each other. They're just going at it, So let me finish this and we'll watch.
To make sure this trial is headed. They have repeated it. I objected. You told me it's improper. You overruled repeated objections where they were saying improper things. You just said a moment ago. This is direct quote. The prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. I object. You respond. That's appropriate comment on that. It's not appropriate comment on that. Charge. I don't know if you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear that.
So, Judge,
What I heard was that Mr. Tacopina was describing Relly as committing perjury.
Judge, that's the direct quote. The direct quote was the prosecution accepts their witness.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You can say, look, man, you can get up there and say, this guy's a liar. You have, because the jury can determine credibility. They can throw out every damn one of these witnesses except for what maybe police, police, maybe they can even throw out them if they don't think, they can throw out all of it. If they don't think they're credible, gone. I mean, they'll be down to police reports, if that, maybe opening and closing. And obviously in whatever evidence comes in, because it'll come in regardless. But I mean, they can do that. They're a jury. Now, there is jury nullification is a thing. It does happen. They're not supposed to. I think they should be able to, period. My belief behind it is the 12 members of the jury plus 2 alternates are sitting. We don't have a democracy. Okay. So just stop saying it. We have a republic. At the very minimum, you could argue, and I hate to because commies use it all the time, the Democratic Republic. That is the state, the people of the state sitting your peers in a trial to determine your fate. That is the state. And if they don't think a law is valid, I think they should be able to go, freaking screw that. This is stupid. I ain't convicting him. Or maybe it's maybe it's a shooting case, a murder or something. Georgia has this, it's kind of a weird affirmative defense. I think it was started in the, I think it was in the 40s or 50s. The guy died. I think he may even still be alive. He's really old that did it, but it's called the "some bitch need a killing" defense. I mean, it's not actually in the rule book, but it's a thing. The guy was so damn bad that, like a Ted Bundy, it's like, oh yeah, he killed like 12 women, and he came into my house or something. Maybe you didn't have, he was holding McDonald's or something. I don't know, and you shouldn't have shot him, and you did. It's a bad example, but, somebody that was really bad. I mean, there are those cases. Anyway, let's go on. But what I was saying about relevance or the jury, this is okay to, this is not okay to do, but juries can decide whether or not someone is credible. So the defense can argue that in closing. They can say someone is a liar. Forget the some bitch need killing defense. That would have to be argued at the beginning. And Georgia's the only one I know that is even had it argued. So, but anyway, you can't argue that in trial. That's not. This guy has been the whole time just, disparage me. And all they're saying is, hey, look, this guy lied. And he did. It's on the stand. He admitted to it. That's perjury. And then the state did what's called rehabilitation, where they tried to rehabilitate him. So it's not that they're suborning perjury. That's a totally different issue. That's when the state goes, yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah. I need you to say X. Well, dude, X didn't happen. It was Y. Yeah, but that's, or dude says, well, he really never shot me. What do you mean he didn't shoot you? He didn't shoot at me. Okay. Well, don't say that. You got to say, or they may not even say anything. And the guy says, but that's okay. Don't worry about it, sir. I'm just going to say he shot at me. Once you have a duty to go to the judge immediately and say, this guy's determined to testify. Let's say he's the defendant. That's usually when it came up for me. The defendant testifies, and he's going to he's going to perjure himself. You got to tell the court. You got to tell the court. You go back into chambers, and both sides find out. And it's like, look, man, this is a lie. It's a lie. He's going to do it. So you can't suborn perjury. But you can try to do stupid stuff like rehabilitate a liar, and you can call him that. So Taco Pina, he's not wrong. Not wrong. So I've gone over this really long explanation as to why this is okay, all of 5 seconds. But his argument, what Taco was doing, is totally cool. He can do that. He can call the guy a liar. He can say, look, they put on somebody to rehabilitate him. That shows that he perjured himself. He did. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised he didn't get charged. Nobody gets charged with perjury anymore. So anyway, let's finish it.
Here's another. Well, he committed extortion. There is no legal.
Do you think the jury?
That is a question for the jury. I don't give a shit. Shut up, Lewin. Shut up. Shut up. This is not where you object in closing to that. He's trying to argue that he's injecting evidence, or I don't even know what he's doing. The dude it's been obvious if you watched it, he's trying to extort $30 million out of this rapper, Rakeem Mayers. He's admitted it. So, yeah, that's not creating evidence that didn't exist. It's there. The guy's an idiot. He's a prick.
He's going to ask for what the legal description of extortion is. Your Honor, forcing someone to pay money, that is, quote, extortion. Your Honor, go on to something else.
No, I want to make a record. You're going to do. I have a right to make a record. No lawyer can get up here. No lawyer can get up here and tell the jury.
I want to make a record. I want to make a record. And the judge is telling you, shut up. Everybody knows what extortion is, dumbass. You don't need to define it. It's extortion. And it may not be for money. It could be something else. It could, a quid pro quo that's not really quid pro quo because it's not on your terms. You don't have a choice. But everybody knows what it is. A jury knows what it is. They can decide that. That's what the judge is telling him.
That a crime has been committed when there is no instruction on that crime. When in fact, Your Honor, that's not the legal definition of extortion. We've objected, and the court again is basically telling you, don't worry about it, doesn't matter.
The instructions will come before the jury's charged. This is, oh God. You can show the instructions. Normally I don't. It just takes more time. When you do these opening and closings, you're telling a story. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're telling a story. And at the end, talking about how much they suck. The other side's story sucks. Their case sucks. They haven't proven anything, and they damn well haven't proved it beyond a reasonable doubt. What will get you in trouble is by trying to say all reasonable doubt. That's not a standard. I guess part of me says it should be, and the other half says, well, obviously no one would ever get convicted. But juries especially, they'll convict you without a reasonable, in violation of that. Think about this case here. Is there a reasonable doubt that he had a real gun and fired shots? Reasonable. If you can sit there and go, it's reasonable. It is possible. He's in that industry, in Hollywood. He could have had a starter pistol. He could have, and he admits it at the beginning. So, I think the state never really repudiates it. They just claim that they think it was real. Mind you, there's never been any shell casings. So it's reasonable to sit there and go, that's possible. Yeah, maybe he did. Then again, maybe it was actually a revolver and it never had shell casings expended. Who knows? But if you can come up with a reasonable doubt, you go, it's really reasonable. Aliens coming and taking casings up or shooting the gun. That's not reasonable. That's a lunatic would think that. But reasonableness and juries a lot of times don't use it. It's like, dude, if it's reasonable and it's a doubt, creates a doubt, that's enough. That's enough to cause an acquittal.
Your Honor, it does matter. After a while, when there were so many of these things, they add up. And when the court is saying, well, what do they don't care about it?
No, I didn't say they don't care.
It's improper argument. The problem is
I don't agree with you. I think using the word, quote, extortion.
Yeah, Taco's getting pissed. He's getting his, he's about, I think he takes his jacket off. He does about what I would do.
To describe the conduct is not improper. I think it's fair conduct.
And what the hell is this dude's hair? What is it with the, okay, look, why are black guys doing this to their hair? It looks stupid. Like that shit had to cost a lot of money and take forever. How do you wash it? Anyway.
And on the evidence, in your rebuttal argument, you can say it wasn't extortion. You can address it.
Yeah, here you
go.
Oh, roid rage. That dude's got to be in his late 50s or so with his dyed black hair. It literally looks like he should be in the Gambino crime family on the corner. I'm joking, I'm busting his balls, but it's funny because I think he's from New York originally.
Prosecution.
I'll tell you what, I didn't hear that. I'm going to ask Captain for the exact quote, but that's what was said. I'm going to sustain the.
They don't. Oh my God. This is so stupid. This is so gay. Judges are not going to do this. They would have already lost their mind on this guy. They're not going to sit there and go back through the record. They're just not going to do it. This is ridiculous.
Sustain your objection, and I will apologize for overruling.
Holy crap.
On that one issue, not everything else. What I said was, and I agree with what I said, but understand the context of it, okay? I didn't say this is more perfect. I didn't say it yesterday, I didn't say it today. The one thing I said, and it was very common, was the prosecution accepts that it's going to be perfect. What I mean by that is in regards to one thing, and it's indisputable, Your Honor. It was regarding really saying the tape was fake. The tape was fake. They got up, cross-examined Mr. Sajemi, did not ask if the tape was fake or not, okay? They then put up transcripts of that tape recording with attributions to Mr. Efron. So
I'm sorry, I can't get over that hair. I don't know whether to laugh or be in amazement. It's holy crap. Is it one continuous like braid or yeah, whatever?
that means by that, just by that very fact, they accept the fact that you committed perjury. I'm not saying they support it, but they accept that witness committed perjury. They have to. Let me finish. There's no other way.
Excuse me. Let me finish. Yeah, I've done that before. I've done that before. Will you shut up and let me finish? And then, they'll say, no. You watch your decorum. But it happens because they just won't shut up.
Way for them to move forward, unless they say that wasn't perjury, but it was because he said that was fake. We know it wasn't fake. It was real. That was perjury. So by then moving forward with it, arguing that the tape is important for the prosecution, that Efron said these things, that when they cross-examined Mr. Jimmy, that was being a good friend, that Efron made tape. All that is doing is, I say this is warning. It's different. I would never say that. I didn't say it yesterday. What it is doing is accepting it, because they didn't say, we have issues with witnesses committing perjury. I said they accepted that witnesses committing perjury. That witness committing perjury on that one issue. That's very common, Your Honor. It's not inappropriate. It wasn't describing counsel. I didn't say Mr. Lewin. I just said they accepted, and that is true. There's no other way around it.
It is not your comment. It is completely unethical.
Well, I agree with you.
So,
I agree with you.
what's frightening is the fact that he just stood up here and basically defended. So yeah, I said it, but I can say it. He doesn't know or care about the law. That's Your Honor. When it's happened.
They've had explicit instructions not to disparage each other. He doesn't know or care about the law. He doesn't know or care about the law. And that's basically saying he's a suck attorney. He's an idiot. He's just an idiot. He might as well just come out and say he's a moron. He's an imbecile. He belongs, in a bedlam. I forgot what the name of it. I think it was called Bedlam, the hospital in England, the former lunatic asylum. It's not, so he's already violating what he's bitching about.
25 times in this trial, with the height of evidence, with the late discovery, and with repeated. You told counsel before we started, do not disparage the other side. I said yesterday, you argue what you want about witnesses. You say a witness lied. You do not disparage counsel. You repeated it yesterday. He tried to explain how he didn't make mistakes yesterday, which he did. Now he gets up and he's now admitted, yes, I made that comment. Here's why it's appropriate. Your Honor, it's not appropriate. It's completely unethical. It's immoral, and it's not professional. And again, Your Honor, the fact that he is getting up here saying, I said here's why, just demonstrates again, he doesn't know the law or doesn't care.
You're disparaging him.
I'm disparaging him because, Your Honor, he's not following the weirdness.
Not to be any disparaging of either side.
During our, the jury's not here. I have every right, obligation, and duty to stand up here and point out when he was being unethical. The first time the court catches me being unethical, the court knows. That's the first time. The court knows. I don't do that. Court knows.
I've heard enough from both of you. I missed the prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. I don't think that's fair comment on the evidence. I think that's an improper statement. It infers that the prosecution is allowing perjury.
I don't think it's improper.
I'm going to sustain your objection, and I'm going to apologize for overruling it, and then move on. I work with two of you.
Witness
move on and not make bring it to the jury's attention. I would point out, though, I told you at the beginning of arguments that if an objection is made, I'm going to do my best to call it as I see it. You have made 17 objections. I have overruled 12. I have sustained 5.
Holy shit. Like I said, 17. I counted it right closer to 30 by that point. They're not even done. This went into the next day because he's going to do a rebuttal. God, you might have that many objections. You won't even have that many objections usually in a trial, the whole trial in Alabama. It's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. If it does, holy crap, you're probably both going to go to jail because the judge is going to freaking lose it. And this was in the closing. 17 times. He would just sit there and be like, Judge, that's an improper statement. That's improper. That's an improper statement, Judge. Judge, that's improper. Dude, he needed, oh my God. This guy is such a tool.
I'm doing the best I can. I will continue to do the best I can, and that's all I say.
I just want to put on the record that, these remarks about being unethical is not just about everything.
But he's
This lawyer, and I'm saying this, this lawyer who asked the jury for a stipulation that a shooting range was not in California, when either he knew it was in California or had no idea that it was in California. Okay, so he literally asked for a stipulation from a jury that he knew was not.
And that's fine because he should be able to say that because the guy, literally the guy says, oh, no, I never shot a gun. And he says it was, and then when he finally talks about shooting, it was outside the state. And then, oops, somebody posts like, I don't know if it was after court or I don't know, before, but it was an Instagram pic of him shooting a gun at the Los Angeles Gun Club. He lied again. You can say that in a closing. This guy, I just don't get it. I mean, he knows better. Unless there's no way he's done 30 years of law and no, there's no way. He knows better.
True or didn't know if it was true. And that's unethical. That's unethical. And this is a guy who, the Ninth Circuit just said lied to a jury in the Ranford case.
Your Honor, one more thing out here, and we air everything that's happened in this case, which the court's aware of.
One more thing out of you. Now he's acting as if he's a judge. One more thing out of you, and we'll air everything. No, you won't. No, that's a good way to get a actual contempt, maybe criminal. It just depends. Especially if the judge warned you already and, you do that again one more time and I'm going to hold you in contempt. Depends on the severity. Depends on what type. Damn well he's going to get a civil contempt. Judge go, bam, $500 fine, $1,000 fine. You going to shut up now? Okay. Take him into custody. And he may let him sit there for the whole day in the holding tank. I mean, this is ridiculous. Oh my God, this is so bad.
He might want to stop.
You
You should be, Joe.
Let's take a break.
You should.
Hey.
Stop it.
Stop it. I can't remember if anything else happens. I think they come back and go back to. Wait, let's see what they. I think the judge gives a jury instruction over it. And mind you, this shit should have happened outside the presence of a jury. I believe the jury was there. I could be wrong, but I think so. No, I take it back because I skipped it. Yeah, I think they asked he excuses the jury because of the objection. Any day. Play the damn thing.
I want to tell you that when I make a mistake, I own it. I have no problem admitting when I make a mistake, and I made a mistake. And I'll tell you what the mistake was. Just the type Peter mentioned, and I missed this. The prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. I missed that. There was an objection. I overruled it. I didn't hear the whole statement. I'm not accusing anybody of doing.
That one's a little fair. Again, that doesn't really move the needle. Yeah, okay. The prosecution accepts. He should have said something like, "It's there." The guy was there. The state's witness. The state heard it. You heard it. I heard it. The guy lied. That would have been a better statement. So, he could have. Look, he could have done this a lot of ways. He could have objected and went to a sidebar, and then he could have gave this instruction, and the attorney, say, "Hey, don't say that anymore." So,
but that statement,
he went about it the wrong way. Don't do this. If you're going to law school, for one, don't go be a doctor. Go get a welding certificate. Don't waste your time. There's plenty of us for the next few decades. Come back in 30 years, and then do it. That way some of us are dead. Just don't do this. Just don't be that guy. Don't be this guy. Don't do it.
Statement puts the prosecutors in an unfair light, and that was improper. I overruled the objection. I should have sustained it. I want any side to be disparaged or be put in a false light. So I made that mistake. I own it. I apologize.
Two things. One, I realized something. I said before that
this doesn't end. Yeah, he continues. I can't remember how many total. That it goes on, and then the next, or I think this is day 13. So I believe day 12. I want to say they had another one on day 12, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about that. It's just more of the same. It's more of the same. It's absurd. What I'd like to do is, let's see. Well, hell, how am I going to get this to work? And to stage. No, I don't want to do that. Why is this not working? Stop screen. Thank you. Present. Share screen. This is what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm not doing all this tonight. This is more for, well, if you want to learn what you should and shouldn't do, but this is more for law students, maybe even baby lawyers, that haven't had a lot of trials. I went ahead and wrote up a few page, like do and don't, on the opening statements and closing. On the opening closing arguments, your tactical considerations. Okay, so it's a lot more than 3. It's 7 pages. Geez, many crickets. Okay, that'll take me like 45 minutes to go through tomorrow. But in legal proceedings, objections during opening statements and closing arguments. Where's my highlighter? I had a highlighter function. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like Google Docs. Where is, oh wait, is this it? Maybe that's it. No, I don't want to use that. I want to use this and that. Come on. Nope, that did not do anything. Let's try it again. Courts generally allow attorneys significant latitude. That doesn't work. What the crap? This sucks. I can't get it to work. Well, it just doesn't matter. Normally it's a lot of latitude. Hell, I can't get it to freaking highlight. This sucks. I should have used the Edge browser. All right, whatever. Opening statements are meant to provide an outline of the case, setting expectations for the evidence without argument or improper persuasion. Objections may be raised if an attorney, 1, argues instead of stating facts. You're always going to state the facts. Restate the facts of the case, what the evidence was, etc. You're not going to just make up shit. That can't be done. The opening should not be argumentative. It must focus on what evidence will show. It might be the state will show, or the state will claim and put on evidence that my client was at a party. And after the party was over, he left the party. He left with Joe Blow in his car, and went home. Joe Blow leaves him. He goes in the house and murders his wife. Okay. Whereas you say we're going to prove and show that didn't happen because we're going to have the witness, Joe Blow, testify that they went after the club to McDonald's and then went somewhere else. And he couldn't have been there at the time of the murder. And he came home to this horrible scene. So that, you can tell the story and then show the evidence. You can't just come in and make argumentative bluster. Don't misstate law or evidence. That's another no-no. Don't do that. Don't do that. The attorney cannot make statements that contradict applicable law or misrepresent evidence. Objection, misstatement of law. It doesn't go into like the rules, like you'll say a 403 or 701, or it just doesn't happen. It doesn't do that. So that's the extent, and that's kind of what this guy does. But he just keeps saying it. Holy crap! It's not stuff that was gonna. They're gonna make mistakes. It's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. You can't make appeals to emotion or prejudice. That happens the most, period. Opening cannot include inflammatory language, improper character attacks, or emotional pleas. You know, for instance, I think the prosecutor talks about his wonderful little kids and how it's just going to be so horrible. You know, it must be hard for them to think that their daddy's going to go to prison. He says something to that effect. And I think Taco objects, and he should have. That is a no-no. That's not cool. But so he's doing what he's bitching about. That's kind of the issue. Don't do it. Vouch for a witness's credibility. Attorney cannot make personal assurances that the witness is truthful. You can't go there and say, hey, I know, really. Okay. I've dealt with him now for a year. He's a great guy. Okay. He's great. He tells the truth. He even goes to his mama's for Mother's Day. He brings her, food every day and feeds her, rubs her feet. She's got diabetes, and he rubs cream on her feet. He's just a good boy. Can't do it. But Tacopina can sure sit there and go, the guy is a damn liar. Well, you don't say it that way. The guy's a liar. He lies to everyone. He lied to me when I had him on cross. He lied to the jury, lied to the judge, and he started giving what he lied about. Improper vouching would be that. Violate court rulings on motions in limine. I think the next one I'll do, I'm never going to get videos below 30 minutes. I probably should have took off my update on my health, but anyway, I wanted to get this over with. Because it just happened end of last week, so I want to talk about it. Motions in limine, I think I'm going to cover that next time. It's what it sounds like, motions to limit certain things or to allow, maybe to allow. But if a judge has ruled that something's inadmissible, don't bring it up. Don't screw with it. So that would be something too that you would do on the side. All right, guys. So thank you. Please leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, etc. And I'll see you next time. God dang it. I'm going to try next time to get it under 30. At least we're not over an hour. All right. Thanks. And we'll go through the rest of the proper way to do opening and closing arguments. All right. Thanks, y'all.